Do you want to promote tourism in Soldati, in Lugano?
Invest in Lugano. And if it goes well for them, some cash for the guy to check out the ships we have here, huh? And we finally made it to the Soviet Union. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Un Topo por el Mundo. Today we're going to ride the Premetro. We could say it's the last tram still running in the city of Buenos Aires, and it takes us to the most Soviet neighborhood in the entire Buenos Aires metropolitan area. And it's at risk of being shut down. And I'm not alone today. I'm here with my dear friend Las Rutas de Juan Topo.
Dear friend, thank you for inviting me. You're not only my friend, but also a role model, and it's an honor to be invited to your show. And well, we send a big greeting to your whole community, since maybe we have some followers in common.
I'm blushing because of your compliments, Juan. If you don't know him, go follow him. Juan's roots, an explorer of the Argentine Republic. He's Sasa, the Italian raised on Pituzas and Manaus. Let's get to know this very unique tram. Even though in the city of Buenos Aires we have the Association of Friends of the Tram, who have the historic tram in Cabalito and go out every weekend. We made a video there during the pandemic. This is the only one that's functional, that runs every day, that takes you around the city. The other one is for tourists. It's your first time traveling, and my time too.
My first time on the Premetro.
I'm going to make you debut, huh?
Let's see how it goes and hope we get a good video out of it.
No, that's what I hope too. It's the second time I think that I'm taking it, maybe the third. I'm not from the area where the Premetro goes. We're going to start now from the station. Mayor Zaguirre. Julio Cesar Zaguirre was the mayor who promoted the construction of the Premetro. Fun fact, he was the first mayor of the city of Buenos Aires after the return of democracy. He began his term in 1983 and he planned the construction of the subway. But Zaguirre dies. It was the beginning of 1987 and the subway was inaugurated in August of 87. So he couldn't see its inauguration. And the person speaking to you? Fun fact, he was born in April of 87. And the one who inaugurated it was the head of the city government who continued after Zaguirre, and that was Facundo Suarez Lastra. That's it, Topodato, very 80s. Another fact before we go in is that the Premetro took very little time to build. They started building it in 1986 and finished it in 1987. How much did it cost? You might be wondering. Well, $5 million at that time. That was the total cost. The network, which is a total of 14 kilometers, and the rolling stock cost approximately another $5 million more. How much would $5 million from the year 8687 be today, adjusted for inflation? I'll throw out a guess. You try too.
A number, $50 million.
No, there was inflation, but it wasn't extreme. Roughly, how much did you adjust Argentine inflation to match international inflation? About $15 million. That's $5 million for the railway, $5 million for rolling stock. $10 million was the cost of this route, more or less. Today, that would be about $30 million. Well, in terms of infrastructure work, it's not that much. I mean, people say $30 million, but in terms of infrastructure, it's not that much. And it connects three neighborhoods in the city of Buenos Aires. Flores, which is where we are now, Villa Soldati, and Villa Lugano. So, well, here we go.
Right, shall we go?
Here we can see that we have to wait in a pretty long line to get on the car. It's a single unit, it's a rail car.
I feel bad that I never took it. You know, living here in the city, it's kind of charming, right? Yeah.
The rail car is very nice, and they just allowed us to board the unit there with a voice that's kind of hard to understand.
How long does the trip take? Do you know, Tomo?
They estimate 25 minutes. We'll see how long it takes to board, and the frequency is about every 15 to 20 minutes, and they also reduce the frequency so it doesn't work properly. It's 3:46 post-meridium and we're leaving.
I tried to pretend I was paying, and I was at minus 450 pesos.
My SUBE card, and well, I need to put money on it. Go see Juan, just like that, pure love.
So now?
SUBE. The fare costs 431 pesos, but those coming from the subway don't pay. I mean, they get on through the middle door. And here you have the turnstile. I mean, you pay at the machine there. Here you go through the turnstile and move forward.
I've never made so many subway transfers in my life. No!
We came from Line E, but we went out to record the intro. I mean, this station, the one for attendance yesterday, is the last station on subway Line E. From there, you can transfer at the center.
Yes, we are at Dorio Station on subway Line B, and we made like 3 transfers. No.
Yes, we arrived.
We arrived.
Now we are already heading to the Florian neighborhood. The individual trip on the Premetro, if you have the SUBE card registered, costs 431 pesos. If you don't have it registered, 700. You also get discounts for traveling multiple times a month and so on. Now, if you come from the subway, you go directly to the Premetro, and in that case, you don't pay the fare, it's like an exemption. Now, if you take the Premetro to go to the subway, then you'll pay the difference. That is, a subway ticket is about 1,200 pesos. Would you pay the remaining 800 pesos to complete the full transfer? As we can see there on that map, there are 18 stations in total, but there's one where it branches off at Arasada. You can go to Civic Center Lugano or you can go to General Sabrio. We are at one of the first stations of the Premetro, which is Balbastro Station. Yes, it's located next to the Florian Cemetery. Quite unique. It's paradoxical because we got on at La Chacarita Cemetery and now we're at the cemetery, which is one of the many cemeteries in the city of Buenos Aires, which is, let's say, in the southern part of the city. They say that on the Day of the Dead it's very crowded because there are many people buried there. From the Bolivian community who also celebrate the Day of the Dead and who come there to perform their rituals.
And another fact is that the Chacarita Cemetery occupies more than 50% of the La Chacarita neighborhood. Ah, yes, and if my information is correct, I think it was created because of an epidemic.
Because of yellow fever?
Because of yellow fever.
Exactly in 1971, yes, you saw the cemetery?
That they didn't give.
Enough.
Of the people they had to bury. And the cemetery was created, which was later closed due to complaints from the neighbors, and then was opened again.
In these first 1,000 meters of the route we just took, the Premetro runs alongside the cars. That is, it's like just another vehicle, but with its own lane and its overhead catenary to supply electricity because it's electric. But right now, we're about to enter the point where it goes onto its own unique and exclusive track.
I feel like a tourist here and people are coming to work.
This is a great option for visitors to Buenos Aires who want to avoid typical tourist spots. Taking the Premetro to where we're going now feels like entering the Soviet zone.
Do you want to promote tourism in Soldati, in Lugano?
It's just that for me, it would bring a lot of development and give a different vibe to a part of the city, and people would also get to know a different part of our city.
Can I say that the city government could hire us to promote tourism?
If they want to shut down the Premetro, they need to make it more dynamic. Plus, it's our last working tram. People say the Premetro is always empty, but it's actually quite full.
If I'm not mistaken, we're passing near the Rio Davia 1 neighborhood. And here in Flores, in Bajo Flores, there's the Bonorino market, where you're going to try one of the best street ceviches you'll ever have in your life.
Yes, vegetarian?
But well,
a vegan ceviche?
We still recommend it to people. There's this idea that ceviche must always be super fresh, right? I tried ceviche in Punta del Este. When I was a waiter, I didn't like it, but here it was amazing and I became a fan. Should I try it in Peru?
We're now at the second stop, Mariano Acosta, where the workshops are located. Mariano Acosta. Yes, you might be wondering how many people can fit in this car. 24 seated and up to 115 standing, that's a lot. 139 people.
Yes, I like that you give a lot of information and the videos are very informative, entertaining and informative. That's why people like you.
Maybe because I bought you a chocolate on the subway.
It cost 2,000 for the chocolate, yes.
One bought himself a chocolate on the subway for 2,000. What he does is really crazy. A kid comes with the seller but approaches you separately, asks for chocolate, and when you give it to him out of sympathy, he returns it to the seller. That's how he adds up chocolates in the sale.
We fell for it like millions of others.
You fell for it too. No one can sneak chocolate past me. You might wonder, where did this car come from? Yes, well, it's a national industry. It's made by Matafer and with Siemens technology. Everything related to the catenary connections.
Do you know what year it was manufactured?
Yes, in 88 it was made there. Military General San Martin, 1988. But wait, are you going to tell me? Hold on. The Premetro was inaugurated in 87. How could it be in 88? And before, well, actually it was manufactured in 88. They started running in 89. There are 25 of these cars, and before that they used the lagartos, that's what they're called. They're called the bruche, the unpronounceable bruche in French. It's terrible, but I'll write it down so French speakers know how it's pronounced. And there's one unit, there's one of those that was rescued by the Friends of the Tram, and they have it there in their museum. And every now and then it comes out. I mean, generally that car doesn't come out. But when there are special events like Children's Day or something like that, they take it out on the street.
And we're going to push so they don't shut down the Premetro?
No, now we're going to talk about it.
Look how fast Topo is going.
Technically, they could reach 60 kilometers per hour, which isn't bad at all for an urban area. But nowadays, they don't go over 40. See how slow it's going? Exactly. We left the Flores neighborhood. We're in Soldati now, and here it's all street markets.
Right, there's a market here on weekends.
But today is neither Saturday nor Sunday.
Today is Thursday. I think it's open, but not at full capacity like on Sunday. You'll find plenty of clothes and food, and now we're at another station.
The curious thing we're seeing on the sidewalks, on the streets here, is that they set up the Pelo Pincha, the pool, I would say of course the swimming pool. Did you know that we're in the Soldati neighborhood, and Soldati was a Swiss immigrant in Argentina who bought these lands? I think it was in 1908, if I'm not mistaken, when all of this was just open fields.
I studied it since you asked me to make a video and thought I should get info, as Topo is an open book. We'll let you share those facts.
You don't know what part of Switzerland he's from. Soldati, no.
You got me there?
From Lugano.
Exactly.
They named their neighboring district after Lugano, which used to be a swamp. All of this, and well, that's why this area is called Soldati, Villa Soldati, in honor of Soldati, the owner of the land, and Lugano as a reference to his homeland in Switzerland.
And we're also very close to the Zacachispa Stadium, which is a great team.
The team with the best social media in the Argentine Republic. I don't want to disrespect the community managers of Argentinos Juniors, who are well known and friends, but the ones from Zacachispa
invited me to the celebrations. About 2 years ago, when the club had its anniversary, they offered me a choripan and a glass of wine with grapefruit, and they already won my heart. They won my affection.
They're not easy just for 2 chocolates. Are you single, Juan? Girls give you anything and you go for it. I'm going to tell you a story from my childhood, from my school, sending greetings to all my classmates from school 16 de Escalada. We had 2 teams that played soccer during recess. One was named Zacachispas and the other Ensalada. Why? No reason, that's just how it was. We kind of became fans of Zacachispa, and even though we were on different teams, we paid more attention to Zacachispa. It was strange.
Strange?
Yeah. In fact, I remember they have a song I learned from watching the One show, Temptations, way back, a long time ago. It went, let's go, Guillermo, let's go, Guillermo.
People know you're a die-hard Argentina del Sur fan. Yeah, that's right. My heart belongs, if anyone cares, to San Telmo and its people. Look. And now that I was filming in Mar del Plata, the people from Alvarado, who were also celebrating their anniversary, gave me a jersey as a gift. But what happens is that then they say, hey, you're a double jersey fan?
Double jersey, double shirt?
Double shirt, I'm all of them. Because the people from La Ferrer always treat me well when I go, so I'd be a triple jersey fan, right? Go ahead and roast me, come at me.
I'm from Argentinos, but I like soccer and respect many teams. We're at Presidente Ilia station, which has the unique feature of connecting with the railway, the Belgrano Sur, that links signs in Pompeia, the federal capital, with González Catán. There's González Catán and González Gadol. Well, whoever got it, got it. And just like it connects with the train, it also connects with the subway line. As we've just come now, you might be wondering why it's called Premetro.
Come on, Topo, tell us.
Well, first we need to see why. We call it subte and some people call it metro. Actually, the term metro, I used to think mistakenly that it was because the first subways ran on metric gauge tracks. No, it's because it's metropolitan, specifically referring to transport. Now, in the case of the Premetro, actually it should be called Presubte, and they called it Premetro because it comes before the metro, but we call it subte. I feel at home. We're at Escalada station, but it's not Remedios de Escalada on the Roca line, it's Escalada on the Premetro. Here, already in the Lugano neighborhood, we're next to a jumbo supermarket, a giant one, and an ISI. So, on Cruz Avenue, and as the lady here kindly told us, we're passing right next to Cruz Avenue. And that the corner is Escalada Avenue, and that's why it's the one that crosses it, and that's why the station is called that.
Now we're in Lugano, which is also a very large neighborhood. It's divided into Piedrabuena, Zamore, Popello, and the Lugano 1 and 2 towers. And a very famous artist lives here nowadays, we don't know.
P.T. Alvarez once lived in one of these towers.
Pity lived in Zamore, if I'm not mistaken.
If you don't know him and are watching from abroad, check him out. Intoxicados and Viejas Locas are top Argentine rock bands. We can see that the driver is up front here. These cars have double cabins, but they can't connect to a second car. They have to be autonomous and they're not interconnectable. So in that sense, only one unit operates each time it travels.
Well, in this place, Juancito learned up to a point how to drive, but something was missing. He learned to handle everything, the cones, whatever came up. Parking was pretty hard for me.
Well, we're in the same boat and it's pretty similar. My old man brought me here 2 or 3 times, and once I think that was the time I traveled by Premetro. The only time I took it, my old man came by car. I was coming from somewhere else and we met here. Reverse for me when parked was really tough. Exactly. The problem is that it doesn't have one. So you can rent a car and don't need to come with.
You need to bring someone to go with me if someone goes with you.
39 minutes and we've finally arrived at the Soviet Union. We are at the General Sabio Towers in Villa Lugano, which are very iconic and very unique. Honestly, we saw the Premetro pretty full. We're recording at around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. It's not really rush hour. Approximately between 15,000 and 20,000 people travel daily, but if more were invested in the service, up to 40,000 could use it. There are 60,000 because it has a lot of potential, more or less. Around 200,000 people live in the area influenced by the Premetro. And here, in these giant towers over here, it's estimated that about 50,000 people live. And here we are, right in front of the towers at the Premetro. We've become friends, haven't we? What's your name?
My name is Jordan. I'm an Argentine federal.
Oh, do you have an Instagram channel?
Yes, exactly. Instagram.
They're from here, from the neighborhood?
Yeah, all my life.
They're giving us a quick tour.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, this neighborhood was mainly built for the forces.
Forces meaning security forces, exactly.
It was mainly for the military. That's why almost every street is named after soldiers, like Soldier of the Border Avenue or Rear Admiral Martin Garrico.
Ah, that's why it's called General Sabio, who was the creator of the military factories.
Well, it seems so. I don't really know him very well, to be honest, but yes, every street you see here in Nueva Unido, they're all named after military people.
And it has a whole structure, which is the Soviet Union. Exactly. If one day it snows in the city of Buenos Aires like it did on that historic July 9th in 2007, I would come to Lugano and say, hey, I'm in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
It snowed here?
Of course, if it ever snows in Buenos Aires, this is the place you have to come to, man. Jordan, let me ask you, how much does it cost to rent a place here? Do you have any idea?
Sure, it's around $400 to $500 depending on your use, but it says 600,000 or 800,000 pesos. Is that in dollars or pesos? No, that's in pesos.
So do you have stores on the ground floor?
No, there's nothing on the ground floor, just here. That's it.
That's crazy, guys. Look, you have to go up those stairs over there and you go to the first floor and there you have the different stores, supermarkets and all that. Let's go.
And that's it. In all the buildings, in most of the buildings.
How many buildings are there?
And there are quite a few. There are about 100 and something, or maybe around 90 something. Of course.
Here we are at number 54, if I'm not mistaken. There are 108 buildings, if I'm not mistaken.
It's curious. Don't go by the numbers because they go up to number 145. But it's not the only one.
Right, you have one building, but they're all blocks stuck together. I mean, it's like a whole mass of buildings. They're sections.
They have a purpose. They were built in a chain to be earthquake resistant. I mean, when there's one, you really feel it on the ground, even up high. But they're earthquake resistant because they're connected. When they move, they all move together, though collapse is still possible.
All these buildings were built in the 80s in different stages. Wow, look at the warehouses we have here, huh? They're abandoned, they work.
They call it the neighborhood of the wind because all the wind gathers here. During storms, it hits hard, so when you walk through, you have to push against it.
That's how it looks, and you can feel it, you know? Right now, we're passing by, and today isn't even a windy day. And here we go up to the area with the shops. They're not on the ground floor, they're on the first floor. Here we have, for example, a hair salon. A haircut costs 7,000 pesos, and retirees get a discount. It's 5,000.
So there's a story here. With the winds, it would be like...
It's like Chicago, which is the windy city.
It's the Sonderwind of San Juan.
But here in Lugano, yeah, look.
Seriously, huh? My hair salon is about to fly away?
Yeah. I think the microphone is picking it up, huh? And something really curious about here, every time I've passed by, it's caught my attention. It's their bridges, which connect each of the towers to the others, so you don't have to cross the street directly. What's up with this shirt, Juancito?
We thank Mauro from Colonia, that's great. A follower of the channel who has a clothing store there in Villa Madero. He was a loyal follower of my whole hitchhiking trip along Route 40. He said, Juancito, I'll make you some shirts. Thank you, Mauro. Why do I say...
You know what's missing here? A mustard in Villa Lugano.
No mustard, no McDonald's, nothing here. There's a
pedestrian street called Chilaver. They're just now putting in a Havana. Look.
And it's around here exactly.
About 15 blocks that way. But there's always the dream of people from Lugano saying they want a McDonald's, a movie theater. That place will blow up, of course.
But it's like the Soviet Union, there's no McDonald's, exactly.
Did you know Bolivia is one of the few countries where it failed?
Honestly, because of the food in...
Of course, since they didn't buy it. People there aren't used to or don't like that food, same here.
They have a good appetite, exactly.
People here eat well and don't eat McDonald's. I think so, Che.
Jordan, there's a lot of prejudice about Lugano, especially about its safety. Is it safe or not? At least we're walking here calmly. You're from around here, but we were coming alone and happened to meet you. And you don't feel unsafe in the environment. People are calm, relaxed. There are a lot of kids walking around.
Not much. Things have really changed. 15 or 20 years ago, taxi drivers often judged us and sometimes refused to bring us here. A lot happened when more people lived here, but now many police stations and monitoring centers are being built. Honestly, I can say this could be one of the safest neighborhoods.
So it's a good option to invest in Villa Lugano.
Yes, but do you know why Lugano has a bad reputation?
United las Chupebriones.
Hey, but apartments are cheap. You can find them for $35,000 to $45,000.
I think it's good for the first home of someone who's looking for a house, exactly.
In 10 years, when things are safer, we'll have the same public transportation as here. They all take the Premetro bus downtown, which stops at the subway. There are many conveniences here near Mataderos and lots of tourism. These apartments might double in value in 5 years.
Are we perhaps giving signs of the gentrification of Villa Lugano? Invest in Lugano, and if it goes well for you, throw a few bucks my way.
Don't buy Bitcoin, don't buy cryptocurrencies.
Invest in Lugano. Yes, 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 for you, Briones, suck it.
In fact, they're doing a lot of events, a lot of shows. La Palusa, Crenfield is...
That's true, and the perimeter is right there.
And if not...
Will he close it, Macri? Jordan, by any chance, do you work in editing for the Yes?
Yes, video editing.
You fly drones and do many things?
I handle all things audiovisual, make music and tracks, and record vocals.
People want to hire you, they need an editor, they need someone to fly a drone, etc., etc. You make reels?
All those things. Yes, everything, very much in graphics. JKC, okay.
JKC, okay, we'll stop here with our two friends walking. People might ask, Topo, was this planned or did you find them? No, it was just by chance, chatting around the perimeter. No, we don't know these people, we just meet and things happen. Yes, it's legendary.
You see, I just said free space. They filmed movies and series here, including a Russian film I don't know the name of, and something about fire.
It's ideal for anyone wanting to film a Soviet movie.
They filmed El Marginal, the Soviet movie I mentioned, a German one, and several others. There were series, movies like Lo Pague la Noche, and some from other bridges too.
This would be like the convergence center of Villa Lugano, let's say. All the bridges connect to this center.
The church, supermarkets.
Banks, the bank, the whole social area.
Here there's a scene from Marginal. There are some kids talking, a junkie, so to speak, and Minujin appears. I think that's the actor's name.
Here in Lugano, they have a square called World Champions. And did you know that the children's slides have the 3 stars from our 3 championships, 78, 86, and 2022? So if we win the championship in 2026, they'll have to...
We're going to come celebrate here?
Of course, celebrate here at the obelisk. There are smaller slides and a bus called the Escaloneta for those not from here or unfamiliar with soccer or our discussion. Scaloni is the coach of our national team, and at one point people would say, get on the Scaloni bus to support his work as coach, explaining soccer. Like, I don't know, if someone's watching me, well, no, I guess no one who doesn't know who Scaloni is would be watching me, I suppose.
For me, Lugano is like a small city.
It's a city within the city.
Exactly, because you have everything. You have Koto, you have a bank, you have everything you want. Lugano is really good. Lugano as a neighborhood, it's great.
How's the nightlife here? Do people party and listen to music?
Is there a club here in Lugano?
Right around the corner, just nearby.
Ah, and everyone from the neighborhood goes there.
Mainly young boys go there.
Kids, let's say matinees.
Matinees, but yeah, people here are very...
And the nighttime noises, like the speakers.
Here, people always start by listening to music and drinking, mate.
Oh, look.
Everything's really nice here.
What's it like here at midnight on New Year's with everything happening and so many people?
We couldn't do much this time since the police showed up, so we all met at the skate park. Yeah, just around the corner, but we couldn't get in because the police were shutting down the speakers. On Christmas, it was good. It got pretty good.
The government changes a lot. Before it was more allowed, now they restrict it more.
Would you trade Lugano for another neighborhood or stay here for life?
Obviously, if you could be better off in another neighborhood, more comfortable, if you could afford it, you would go to another neighborhood. But here, it's like you were born here and you have that sense of belonging, of being comfortable in your own neighborhood. Maybe there are other neighborhoods that are even less safe. Lugano, if you're from here, nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing happens to you, nothing at all, which might not be the case in another neighborhood. No, because they don't know you there. But here, it's very, very comfortable. I mean, you're from Lugano and you have that sense of belonging and love for your neighborhood and for yourself.
Where would you like to live?
If things go really well for me, you know, maybe I'll get a yacht and go to Recoleta or Belgrano.
Oh, look at that. How fancy, huh? Me?
We go from here to here, you get it?
But no.
Lugano has always been a comfortable place to live.
A real pleasure, my friend.
Do you see all this? Yes, Duki filmed those rooftops, but he shot an upward angle from this building. On that court we're looking at, Milo Jota filmed, and Jace, the Peruvian freestyler, also filmed there, and an old guy filmed there too.
I don't know any of them, no.
But people will know him. And there on that court, Dani Riva filmed, another Argentinian freestyler too.
I know Duki and Milo Shota by name, but I've only heard one song and can't tell who it is. No, now that you mention it, just those two?
And on the corner of my house, Maria Becerra recorded, I think, with La Joaquin or La Joaquin.
Well, yes, that one, yes, but I also know them by name.
On this terrace, Guti, disc jockey, also recorded a music video, also recorded up here.
You're very young. How old are you?
No, 27, I was at those shoots.
You're years old. I'm here. Hello, hello, how are you? How's it going? A pleasure? Here we have the doorman. The buildings have 14 floors, 4 apartments per floor, so 14 times 456 in each of these little sections of this block. And we're just gonna go into one of the towers in Villa Lugano. We're gonna see what the big hallways are like inside. Yeah, here we're gonna take the elevator. What's up? The maintenance fees and condo association meetings for these towers must be intense.
Imagine if there's a gas leak or a broken pipe. Look, but I have some info for you. Here is the maintenance fee amount.
Look at how much the maintenance fees are, which would be the building administration cost in Argentina for those coming from abroad, 63,000 pesos. The regular one must be more regular than any other because it's spelled with an H, and the extraordinary one is 37,000. So in total, they're paying 100,000 pesos in maintenance fees as of today. We're going up here to the 14th floor. The elevator is pretty good, very nice. Yeah.
This is well maintained, huh? You know how there are elevators you get into and you start praying?
No, this one is really good. The recessed lighting. Well, we're on this terrace with a spectacular view. I have to say, when I get close to the railing, I get a little dizzy. I usually have vertigo. Here is where you can hang your clothes, and from this side we can see all the apartment blocks, which is amazing. How does everything look? And on the other side of the terrace we're going to approach now, we can see several really interesting spots. On one side, over there in the distance, is the Mercado Libre Logistics and Distribution Center. And over there you can see the buildings of Puerto Madero. And in the adjacent area down there, in the same neighborhood of Lugano, we have what they call the fancy area of Lugano. Many chalets and small picturesque houses are here. Look, my friend Jordan is about to launch his drone. Jordan, and you who live here, are you an owner or a tenant?
No tenant.
Tenant, what's your rent for the sequence?
See, I pay almost nothing, but why? When I moved in, the apartment was in ruins. Exactly, and they charged me $40 a month for a year so I could fix it. And regarding inflation during the period you mentioned...
So that people can understand it.
But did you pay in Argentine pesos? Exactly, yes, I paid in Argentine pesos. From Alberto's government to Milei, there was a very strong inflation shock, so it went up, I don't know, from $40 to $250. But today I'm paying in Argentine pesos, 340,000 pesos.
340,000 pesos is nearly dólares estadounidenses, United States dollars, 200 more.
Exactly, when apartments nowadays are 600 grand, 800 grand.
No, similar to yours.
The same, exactly, which are 503 rooms. Yes, 3 rooms.
2 bedrooms and a living room. I looked on Mercado Libre, and a 3-room apartment is $48,000 and utilities. How much do you pay? We saw one there that was 100,000. It could be around 150.
I pay 80, but it depends on the building since you all are spread out.
You see? I mean, for a 3-room place, 80,000 pesos is pretty cheap.
The neighborhood wasn't like this. Look at that. The trucks came by. They kept going. Nobody from the city government sends the truck to pick all that up. The water tables have already broken the sidewalks. I feel I live on the first floor. A rotten smell. It's a terrible thing. The neighborhood wasn't like this before.
You're saying that the city government is neglecting it?
They're neglecting it. They're neglecting it.
We came here to the other station where it takes a slight turn. The Premetro branch, which is the Centro Cívico station, which drops you off in the middle of the entire Torres de Villa complex. Lugano, well, we finished our visit to Lugano and we're gonna take the Premetro again. We're gonna go through all of this again. We're still dealing with the negative balance, man. Something I've noticed in both of the units we've taken so far is that they all have trash bins. The police officer, a lot of people out there might think that means it's safe or that there are police officers on every train.
It feels safe and it looks good, it looks clean.
The place. Notice that here is the sign in the driver's cabin that says, "No to the closure of the Premetro." What they want to do here is remove the entire Premetro and replace it with electric buses. But first of all, this is something very difficult to do because they would have to make the lanes wider here. The track gauge is 14.35, and for buses to run on both sides, would this have to be widened or would they already have to do public works? On the other hand, the thing is that the Premetro car carries a lot more people than a bus. We already said that you can easily fit 130 or 135 people both seated and standing, which you can't fit in a regular bus. Also, they have the possibility of buying new rolling stock if they want to make investments, and that new rolling stock, instead of being a single rail car, they could use double units that can carry twice as many people. They could also improve the condition of the tracks since they want to do public works, and that way the trains could run faster. There is a hypothesis that they are sabotaging it to say, precisely look at how badly the Premetro is running, it needs to be replaced. There was a rumor that tickets were free, but as we saw on all trips, and my friend Juan can confirm, they do charge for tickets.
Without 430 pesos.
Yeah, Juan ended up in the negative. So why do they want to make the replacement? And is this already a rumor? Is there something weird going on with the electric buses they bought a lot of or want to buy a lot of? Just imagine, because it could happen. And they want to put them to circulate in different parts of the city, and one of those is this one right here. Something important to clarify is that the renewal of the buses, if electric buses were put in the city of Buenos Aires, is every 10 years. That is, when they are 10 years old, that's it, you have to take them out of service. On the other hand, the Premetro works. This rolling stock has been running since 1989 and it can still keep running for longer. It doesn't need that certification. So the rolling stock has a much longer useful life and the units could even be improved. Here, for example, on very hot days, these cars don't have air conditioning. Today, luckily, we're recording and it's pretty cool, beautiful, but if it were very hot, we'd be sweating. What can we do? If you feel like it and want the Premetro to be preserved in the city of Buenos Aires, we're going to start a social activism campaign there. Come and take the Premetro, get on, explore these parts of Buenos Aires. Take a picture and use the hashtag. No al cierre no to the closure of the Premetro. You can tag me if you want and tag Jorge Macri, the head of the city government, so that it's clear that there are many people who don't want the Premetro to be closed. So if you want to get involved with the city of Buenos Aires, take the Premetro and do it. That's a move. Let's see if it works. And we get off at this station called Parque de la Ciudad because we're coming to Parque de la Ciudad, which is a place I don't know. This is going to be the first time in my life that I enter this place, which used to be an amusement park. This place is huge. It was inaugurated in 1982 to function as an amusement park. It was our Disney, so to speak, and it happened.
Topo, tell the people what happened.
Things happened. It started to go downhill. I mean, at that time, there was the city park and there was also the ITA, the park. They were kind of competitors.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi?
Right, but actually at that time, it was called Itarama Park, right? And then, well, there were problems with the concessions. I don't know the details, but they also built something epic here, which is the tallest tower we've had in the Argentine Republic until 2019, which is this massive structure here, the Space Tower. Look, it has that shape kind of like a flying saucer. It's 208 meters tall, but its antenna adds another 20 meters. So it was a 228-meter building that was surpassed in 2019 by the Albert Tower, which I think is 239 meters tall. If I'm not mistaken, I learned the same about the Albert Tower. I'm unsure of the meters, but it was about that height when it surpassed it.
Listen, if people like this duo, they should ask for more videos. That's right, huh? That way the guy comes back to my channel and I can monetize it for a while, huh? Are we YouTubers monetizing ourselves?
It's the first time I've come here. It's a park with free and open access. Does the Premetro drop you off here? If you don't have anything to do on a weekend, I mean, it's a good place to come. Now I'm noticing it's getting cloudy on us. But you cannot only come through Lugano, it's also like a family weekend. During this summer vacation, you can stroll through Lugano and stroll through Solcate.
People should stop going so much to Caminito, to Palermo, not to San Telmo.
And come over to this area. Even if you're watching me from other countries and want to explore Buenos Aires, places that aren't touristy or well known, this is the area, folks.
And also tag us when you come here.
Of course, it's for you guys. How's it going? The cleaning ladies from Parque La Ciudad are here. Want to be on camera? Thanks and greetings.
Greetings to everyone. Come and enjoy the city park.
A lot of people come on the weekend, yes.
What happens is that the season hasn't started yet.
Right, it's just the park and the rides.
That's not there.
There will be games like, I don't know.
Like last year.
But there aren't roller coasters and stuff like that. That's already gone. Well, nice to meet you girls. Something curious is that here the park operated alongside Hilltal Park. kind of at the same time, but then Hilltal Park closed because of that problem they had with an accident. It used to be almost a monopoly for amusement parks, but I'm not sure many people visited. It eventually closed due to administrative problems, since it was city-owned and had concession issues. Then Parque de la Costa opened.
Like the main stop.
Exactly, the emblem of amusement parks here. But in the 80s, this was the Disney of Buenos Aires. Keep in mind that this is still being used. Last year, for example, here in the city park, Los Piojos played here. We have real experts on the games at the city park. This one was meant to go through the water, the little log. The other was like a Ferris wheel. Notice the height of the tower. It's impressive what it must have done when it was inaugurated in the 80s. In 85, if I'm not mistaken, it was inaugurated. We're walking around here and it seems...
It could easily be Ukraine.
Or any territory of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics in general.
We could make a video someday.
But wait, I remember I was walking through a neighborhood in Vienna, Austria, and it was similar to a park, like this.
The domes feel similar, right?
Yeah, is this Europe, dude? That's wild. Hello?
How's it going? How are you? Could I please have a water and a Coke? Do you have those?
Yeah, let me check. I'll get you a soda. Oh, do you have salads too? I'm trying to quit Coke and I just bought a sparkling water.
Very good. I was gonna get a Coke, but Aquarius tempted me.
Which is just as unhealthy.
But it won't make me as bloated. You say, let's say...
You have to drink water. Each bottle of drink costs 3,000 pesos. Then there's a croissant, 1,000 pesos each. There are fried cakes and vegetarian salads, which I asked about. They're 9,000 pesos.
Fried cakes, 3 for 1,500. Seemed like a good price to me.
Look how impressive this is here. It's the abandoned roller coaster. There's nothing more eerie than an abandoned amusement park. It looks like Chernobyl.
And everything is closed. This is like Area 51. You can't go through here, access is forbidden, and it has a Chernobyl vibe. This is kind of creepy, especially at night.
I've never visited Chernobyl, but...
Juan's route was there, Juan's route was there.
Were you in Chernobyl? Yes, there's video.
I didn't see it. Check my Instagram for photos.
So that people have to go back?
You have to go way back.
Were you at Chernobyl?
Went with friends for the World Cup in Russia?
No, did you go to Asturias or Chernobyl?
Chernobyl happened during the World Cup in Russia. We visited St. Petersburg, Moscow, and finally Kiev, Ukraine. The Chernobyl tour was the most expensive I've ever taken, about $200. And honestly, it was a really good experience. It's also a bit set up for tourists.
Of course.
For tourism.
I think it's Chernobyl tourism in the city park.
You'd go into an abandoned hospital and they'd leave a little doll like this so people could come and take pictures of it. But you'd go into abandoned schools, you'd go into hospitals. It was a really good experience. The entrance fee was $200. Today, obviously, all of that is closed, but back then you could do it.
Ah, hey, but of course, I was thinking there's an elevator, but there should be stairs too, because what if you get stuck with the elevator?
Yeah, there has to be a staircase and a way in. Now I feel like going inside.
Look, there's a door here, but it's locked, and I imagine the stairs to go up are in there. I'll try it just in case, it says. Access forbidden, but if you went up, so what? Are they going to give me an ANSI function? Are they going to press Ctrl-Z so I haven't seen the images? From up there, they say you can see up to 80 kilometers around, so you could see Uruguay on a clear day. Amazing, right? And look, over there in the distance, you can see there are more fun rides. What's the name of the octopus?
The half world.
All abandoned? And finally, we've arrived where we started this tour at Intendente Javier Station to connect with Line E, Plaza de los Virreyes. What did you think?
According to your phone, we walked 10 kilometers walking. It's been a long time since I walked 10 kilometers. My bunions hurt a little, but I'm okay.
The problem is filming with old people.
We had a great time, really good content.
It came out. Let's hope you do go follow him, follow Juan, obviously, and follow me too if you don't already. Hit the bell and all that stuff. One thing I forgot to mention, the original project was for the Premetro to reach the Noria Bridge and then cross into the provinces, etc. That project lasted until 2001 when the funds ran out and it faded into public imagination. Now we're fighting to keep it from being shut down. Thank you very much for being there. Go ask on all social media for them not to shut down the Premetro so this means of transportation keeps running, and I'll see you next time.